caution, there could be language. They gave us a heads up on that. So if you're easily offended, please don't watch or turn the volume down. Next thing is please subscribe. Help us make 252 subscribers. If not, comment or like if you agree with us.
States in an attempt to extort American taxpayers for hundreds of billions of dollars for illegal aliens and people that came into our country illegally, from gangs, from prisons, from mental institutions. They wanted to pay them $1.5 trillion, which would have really hurt our healthcare businesses and our recipients at levels never seen before. Today, we're sending a clear message that we will never give in to extortion, because that's what it was. They tried to extort, the Democrats tried to extort our country. In just a moment, I'll sign a bill exactly like we asked Democrats to send us all along, many days ago. This cost the country $1.5 trillion, this little excursion that they took us on. Republicans never wanted a shutdown and voted 15 times for a clean continuation of funding. There's never been a time when one or the other party ever didn't sign a continuation. It's just a continuation, not a big deal. It's a continuation, and we'll talk later. Yet the extremists
And Trump
in the
doesn't
other
use auto
party
pen, he
insisted
signs
on
itself.
creating the longest government shutdown
Not
in
like
American
Biden.
history, and they did it purely for political reasons. I want to thank
And he does
Senator
it on
Mike
camera.
Johnson, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, as well as House Majority Leader Steve Scalise,
So you know he's not lying.
Majority Whip Tom Emmer, and
It's right there in
numerous
front of
other
you.
great Republican leaders and congressmen and senators who are here and frankly spent a long time in Washington getting this thing to go away. I also want to thank the broad coalition of Americans that stood with us in this fight to reopen government, including the Teamsters, the American Federation of Government Employees, the Fraternal Order of Police, AMVETS, the National Small Business Association, the American Farm Bureau, the American Trucking Association. These are all incredible patriots. The Airlines for America, the Allied Pilots Association, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, and many others, unions and non-unions. Over the past 7 weeks, the Democrats
Please help support the channel and help us reach
252,000 flights
subscribers.
They departed.
So I can continue to bring you these videos
People were hurt
of
so
breaking
badly.
news.
Nobody's ever seen anything
Subscribe,
like this one.
like,
This was
comment.
a no-brainer. This was an
We accept
easy
all comments.
extension. But they didn't want to do it the
No
easy
matter
way.
what
They had to
side
do
you're
it the
on.
hard way. They look very bad, the Democrats do. They deprived more than 1 million government workers from their paychecks and
We don't
cut
take
off
away your
food stamp
liberties.
benefits for
Neither does
millions and
Donald.
millions more Americans in need. They caused tens of
This is a
thousands of
patriot
federal
channel.
contractors and
Your
small
opinion means
businesses
something.
to go unpaid, and the total effect of the damage their antics cause will take weeks and probably months to really calculate accurately, including the serious harm that they did to our economy and to people and to families. So I just want to tell the American people, you should not forget this when we come up to midterms and other things. Don't forget what they've done to our country. I also want to call for a termination to the filibuster so that this can never happen again. If we had the filibuster terminated, this would never happen again. And don't forget, we have another date coming up in the not-too-distant future. We can never let this
Maybe if I can get some
happen again.
subscribers, I can get a stand to put this camera on. I don't have to hold it and move it around.
So I say terminate the filibuster because, by the way, the Democrats will do it immediately.
This is all for you. All I need is commercials to make money.
Today we have
You know
the
how
highest
YouTube
stock
works.
market price ever in all of the different markets. We set a record. It's the 48th time in the 9 months that I've been in office that we had this record set. So think of that, 48 times we had a record set, but today is the highest of them all. We're gonna break new grounds. Nobody would have thought. I have with us not only the great political leaders, but the great business leaders of our country. They're standing right behind.
Come on, Patriots. Help us get the word out there. Subscribe to the channel.
We would have told them
Let's get
a year ago that
250
we'd be having
52,000
stock prices this high.
subscribers.
In fact, I just asked them that question. None of them would have believed it. And that inures to jobs and, very importantly, to 401ks, which have also set a record today. a record high for the
And
people.
even
that
if you're not a
are
patriot, you're still welcome. You'll see the light eventually.
Walmart, because they came up with a fantastic study. It was the cost of Thanksgiving coming up and the cost of Thanksgiving from a year ago.
If you're not a patriot, leave a comment. It's welcome.
25% lower this year than we were a year ago. And it's a very inclusive report.
Patriots,
So
you can
I
leave a
like
comment
Walmart.
too.
They've done it for many years, but we believe in that. and we
Have a
believe in that company.
debate on my
I
channel
want to also thank
with other
the 8
fellow
Senate
patriots or
who
Democrats.
finally did the right thing in voting to end this craziness, this madness, but unfortunately the vast majority of congressional Democrats were happy for millions of Americans to suffer. They really did suffer too. And the Democrats admitted, they said, well, no, we finally have a point. Even though people have to suffer, we finally have a point, and that didn't work out too well for them. But they really went out and they could appease the fringe benefits of their far-left base, but that didn't work out because now their far-left base is angry.
Eventually, I'm going to get a better setup
We actually
and turn this
elected
YouTube
a
into
mayor
a radio
of New York City
station.
who happens to be a communist. When was that going to happen? Remember I said all the time during my campaign, we will never be a socialist.
But I need more
That's
subscribers
right.
before I can do
We
all
turned out
this.
to have a communist in New York City, and if you look at his views, those are the views of a communist, not a socialist. So this is no way to run a country. I hope we can all agree that the government should never be shut down again and again, end the filibuster, terminate the filibuster. It'll never happen again. So with my signature, the federal government,
Not auto pen, signature.
operations, and my administration and our
Not like the
partners in
Bidens.
Congress will continue our work to lower the cost of living, restore public safety, grow our economy, and make America affordable again for all Americans. Again, costs are way down, energy is way down, gasoline is at $2.50 a gallon versus $4.70 for the Democrats. And we think we're going to hit pretty close to $2 a gallon. That's like a really massive tax cut. It's the equivalent of that. And speaking of tax cuts, our great, big, beautiful bill is giving everybody in our economy, middle income workers, low income, everybody, the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. And it's no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and very importantly, no tax on overtime. You work overtime, there's no tax. That's among the things that add up to the biggest tax cut in history. One other thing, you hear about rich people with deductions. Well, when you buy your car and you borrow money, you're allowed to now deduct the interest on that loan. So you can take that interest deduction and what you can take is that interest payment and deduct it for income tax purposes. That's a tremendous tax cut right there. But it all includes fixing the healthcare system that Democrats broke with the disaster known as Obamacare. Obamacare was a disaster from day one. It's done
It was
nothing to
BS.
go up. And if you remember President Barack Hussein Obama, when he came up
That
with this crazy
traitor.
idea, he said everything's going to be great.
Yeah, everything was great, all right.
Payments are going to go down. Everything's going to go down. It went the exact opposite. With the biggest increase
Yeah, a lot of
in
Social
any
Security
country,
lost.
any country.
Seniors
It's a
lost it.
disaster. And I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care, which will be far better and far less expensive than the disaster known as Obamacare. And I've had, I think, great support. I've even had Democrat support. So we want the money that would be going to the insurance company, which is hundreds of
I had a
millions
nice
of
insurance
dollars.
company
Their stock
until
prices
Obama
have
came
gone
in.
up by 1,000% in many cases. 1,000% over a short period of time.
All the
Because our
seniors that
country
are
stupidly
retired.
pays them so much money with this Obamacare scandal. So I want the money to go directly to you, the people. And you go out and you'll buy your own health insurance and you'll negotiate different plans and you'll get much better insurance and you will be an entrepreneur for yourself. So I'm always willing to work with anyone, including the other party. We'll work on something having to do with healthcare. We can do a lot better. We can do great. So much money is involved. and we're willing to pay so much money to the people. So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. They're going to go out and buy their own health care, and we're going to forget this Obamacare madness. So with all of that, I just want to tell you the country has never been in better shape. We went through this short-term disaster with the Democrats because they thought it would be good politically, and it's an honor now to
And it bit them in
sign this
the butt.
incredible bill and get our country working again.
They're hated more than ever. Joe Biden, take note. This isn't auto pen. This is signed. Which maybe you should have done. Or did you have something to hide? Trump don't.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if you have questions. I think we really have a really great situation. We have a country that we love.
Again, Trump signs to reopen it, the government. Please help us
in our country
get 250,000 subscribers and above, Patriots.
There's never been a country that had so much, and that money's going into also building new auto plants, new AI plants, new everything. We've never had a time like this. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it.
Are you prepared to negotiate with Democrats now? Mr. President, can you
Thank you for
respond to
watching. Don't forget that subscribe. We'll bring you more if it comes on at a different time, but you won't see it if you don't subscribe. Help us hit that 252,000 subscribers. God bless you all, and I hope you get back to where you were. Now that it's officially back open.
$1.5 trillion in part.
Get our military paid.
$1 billion in health care for illegals. That included
our middle class,
PBS, DEI programs,
our seniors,
etc. He said that he will never, as president, give in to extremism like this or
God bless you all. Take care. I'll see you next video.
Cost to the country over these 42 days, $1.5 trillion. 15 times Republicans, he reminded the country, voted for a clean CR. That was a position that Chuck Schumer had his entire career. We played that montage many times. He did thank Speaker Johnson, Majority Leader Thune.
And he had time to go to China and make a deal with them to stop fentanyl.
And others. He thanked the unions. He thanked the Democrats that went along with
from
this.
Flowing in. And Chinese government agreed to stop 13 manufacturers
he talked at length about
bringing in
terminating the
fentanyl.
filibuster. There is some disagreement in the Senate with some Republican senators.
All right, thank you for watching. I think we went long enough. Don't want too long.
The stock market.
See you next time. God bless. Please subscribe.